Right. Welcome everybody. Why does that video seem so blurry?
I broadcast to my earphone.
Make sure you mute yourself out if you're not talking to me. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right. Welcome everybody. It is Wednesday, August 13th. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. Good week so far. We had a couple winning trade signals over the past few days. We're currently in one right now. Ethereum's gone crazy. I mean, hitting all-time highs. We got Bitcoin pushing up right now to reattempt an all-time high. I think we're at 121 at the moment, give or take a few dollars. And XRP had its little dip, but it's probably getting ready to pump as well. And I'm going to share my screen right now. A lot of craziness going on the chart, so I'm going to redo this. All right. I am going to this is what I do, guys. When the charts get a little too crazy, I just remove all the drawings, start back over. Pull up on the daily time frame. Start down here at 74.5. Draw the upward trending support. And I'm going to put that to the all-time high right there, 123, 180, which is right here. I will draw a line from the all-time high over to that, creating that wedge and that apex that we're coming into. Couple areas of back here where we had 108, 109. This is where we had the big falling wedge. You might say, what's it matter now? Why do you need to go back and draw these lines? I don't, but when I'm giving examples of the different levels that we've pumped out of and we've broken out of one bull flag after another, then sometimes it helps for me to already have them drawn on here, but you don't have to go back in that far. But you know, sometimes it's good to see it, guys. It's good to see the bull flags, how far they break out when they break out. And this one here, for instance, broke out here. I would say that maybe to the 108 level, where it broke out here, brought it right up to the 123 level. It actually wasn't the 108 level. It was more like the breakout was more to here. We did climb to the 108 level, but it was more like to there before we hit resistance, before breaking through. The reason why is because that resistance line there became support. And I'll just put that over here, and that lines up pretty much better with the where it pumped up to, which is right about here. Actually, let's just be real precise here. It's this one right in here. Which was the beginning of the next bull flag. And when we wicked down here before breaking out, we wicked down to previous resistance right here, breaking out, retest. We did come down halfway before we did that. And we kind of did it again up here. So right up here, we had a new bullish flag and we did break down below that to previous resistance once again, right there. Before breaking out. As we were discussing before this happened, that's what I was anticipating was going to happen. And now we're coming up to, and you can see right here, this red wick, we wicked all the way up. I am on the daily, so it looks a little different, but we wicked all the way up to 122, 160. And now it looks like we're pumping up to retest up here. This is the all-time high, 123.1 approximately. And let me go down to a lower time frame, get a better look at this. Could be, we pumped up here to 122, 160 right there. Right here today. This was the other day. Come down. We also have a local, more of a, let me just zoom out here so you can see. This upward trend needs to be over here a little bit. We also have a little bit of an upward trend support line right here as well. Even though this is a big apex right here, but there's also this happening as well. So as long as we stay above this line, we probably will, all the way up to at least double topping here. At the very least, double topping, meaning we hit it and we can't get through, and then we come down and retest this, and either we get through or we break through here, and we have one more retest on this line before breaking through. That's possible as well. Yeah, it could just be another bull flag. May not come down that far. It might look more like this, where we hit this and then we do one of these. Before breaking out. But I don't think so. I think we're due. I think we are due. Hello, Denise. Welcome, welcome. If you're brand new, guys, today, this is our normal Wednesday call. And we will, we also have a basics call at 2 p.m. So if you're new, you definitely want to get on that. The basics at 2 p.m. today with Bill. Also, we have a webinar tonight, a live webinar for the public. You guys are always welcome to get on that as well. We normally have those on Thursday, but we're doing it tonight instead. Let's see here. That's what's going on with Bitcoin. Let's go look at Ethereum. I'm really kind of into Ethereum a little bit more lately because of breaking out of this 4-year resistance, which it just, I mean, was ridiculous that it just wasn't for so long, right? If we go to the weekly time frame or the monthly time frame, let's go to the monthly. You can see this very clearly that over the last well, hold on, this is it. This isn't going to show it. I got to go to trading view.
Rico,
Yep.
one quick question. That couple of days ago, you were talking about, getting in and trying to get small wins. And last week, I did it in a block trade, and then I tried to do it this week on my regular Bitcoin. But the levels that I put in, it didn't hit it. So I did it as a limit. And I was wondering why it didn't hit my limit so I can get into the trade.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Based on what you're telling me, I would have to see like some screenshots. And so so just say it again one more time. You went long. You put
I went long. I entered at 119.207, and I put my stop loss in at
What
119.
what pair was this? Bitcoin you're talking about?
Yes, this was in Bitcoin, and I was doing it on like the 4 and the 15 minute, and I did it like I said.
So hold on one second. On the 15-minute time frame, what leverage?
I started at 10, but I had to bring it down to 5 because he said I didn't have enough
Okay.
margin.
Now, up here on the left corner, up here, when you were placing this order, you said you were on limit or market.
I was on limit. Yes, I did that as a limit.
Okay.
No limit. I did it on limit.
Okay. Well, when now was it a limit conditional order or just limit?
Just straight limit.
Okay. Did you have the parameter set in here as to what your limit will be?
Yeah, I put in that was for my entry, right? And my entry was 119,207.
Okay.
Right. And then I was like, okay.
And you're saying it went through that, but it didn't trigger the order?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
All right. Was it already above that when you?
No, it wasn't. I made sure of that it wasn't, because like I said, I did it the week before in a mock trade, and it went. I did very well with it.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what I did because, like when it said that I didn't have enough margin, I did it at, instead of 10. I did both at 5. I did the long.
Oh well, that would be my next question. Is that if it didn't trigger, it would be based on the reason why it didn't trigger is if everything was set properly and it didn't trigger, it would be because of your margin level wasn't correct, or you had too much, you had not enough margin for the amount of leverage that you wanted to use, or some reason like that. But in order to know specifically, you probably need to get on the basis call with Bill next and ask him, or do it in the help desk, because he could look at your exact, your close positions and see. But generally speaking, just so you know, I never use limit. I always trade on market order. Now, I understand the reason. Usually it's because you're working or you can't stick around and watch or whatever, and you want it to, I don't know what your reason was, but you wanted it to go along if it went above a certain price, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
What time was this?
What time was it?
Was it like after I gave the signal or before?
It was before, because I did it without the signal.
Yeah. Yeah, if the price, Marjorie says that it won't trigger if the price is above your limit price. So if the price was already above your limit price, not necessarily above the current price, but above the limit price, obviously it would have to be above the current price. But then what you were saying is if it came back down to your limit price, or was it below that already when you gave that?
It was below that already.
All right.
I was
I would
trying to make it to go up.
I would need more. Yeah, we would need more detail to figure that one out.
Okay.
But there is a reason, and it's probably because of not enough money, especially if you had a pop-up window that told you that your margin wasn't sufficient or something like that.
Yeah.
But
okay, great. Because
now here's a reason. Now here's a reason why that could happen, even if you think you have money or enough money, is that you could have been accidentally on a USDT margin, and you might have Bitcoin in your BTC margin, or you might have accidentally been on BTC margin and you have all your money in USDT.
Okay.
And you thought you went long on the chart you were looking at. Let's say you were looking at a Bitcoin margin chart. You thought you did that trade on that, and it said you didn't have any USDT or didn't have any Bitcoin. So you have to make sure that if you're trading on Bitcoin USDT, that you have USDT in your USDT futures account, right? If you're trading on a Bitcoin margin, you have to have Bitcoin in your coin margin wallet. So
okay.
Those are the next two things to look at.
Yeah, because I really want to. Like I said, I've been with you guys for a little while now, just learning, and I'm amazed because every time I get on the call, I learn something new.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to thank you guys for that too, man.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. Glad you're getting there, and just stick to it, man. That's all it is. It's just consistency just like everything else in life. It's so simple. People wonder sometimes how long it's going to take, and if they're ever going to get it. And just ask yourself every time you learned anything in your life, how long did it take, and why did you learn it?
Nigga, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I burnt my boat. I gotta do this.
Oh yeah, and you can, and you will. Yeah, I mean, everything is learnable, guys. And if you haven't quite mastered this yet, just remember when you didn't know how to drive a car. Just remember when you didn't know how to ride a bicycle. I mean, you learned it because you did it, and then you kept doing it until you got better and better at it. And that's just the only way you learn anything these days. You just just the fact that you're speaking a language means you didn't know it at one point. You would have been very confusing if you didn't know. Like if you just hear someone speaking Russian right now and you don't know how to speak Russian, very confusing. But when you learn it, people who speak Russian, they don't think anything of it, right? So I know that sounds oversimplified, but it's just the way it is. And I think a lot of people quit or give up sometimes way too soon. And sometimes they give up right before they're about to get it. So just don't do that. That's all. That's the only way to lose. But good job. I appreciate that. And yeah, whenever there's something that didn't work, all you got to do is figure out what you did wrong and then don't do it again. And now you've eliminated one more mistake from the list of mistakes. And now you're one step closer to no mistakes. And that's all there is to it. It's a process of elimination sometimes.
Hey, Nico, I had a quick question.
Yes.
Cheryl, I took your original BTC signal several days back. I work a lot, so I'm having to do a lot of limited trades and set stop losses. And it did hit my stop loss several days back. I was really nervous about jumping in with it being up so high. What's your thought process on that?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about the most recent one,
Yeah.
the one that I'm still in right here, just yesterday at 9:30 a.m., I'm still in that trade, and the stop loss was never hit. So I don't know where you.
Yeah, it was the one before that. So I was just nervous about jumping into the next one just because it seemed like it was so high. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, one thing you're gonna have to get over if you want to get successful is sometimes I will give back-to-back signals after my stop losses are hit. And,
Okay.
And anybody want to tell me what my famous last words are sometimes? Anybody in here want to tell me?
No emotions.
No, like sometimes when we
Never wrong 3 times in a row.
3 times, third time's a charm sometimes. And
scary money don't make no money.
Yeah, it's basically, guys, sometimes it's not that I was wrong on the signal necessarily. It was the timing might have not been ready to do what I thought it was going to do. And so
That's what I meant.
Sometimes I just re-enter. And sometimes so when you see another signal and you feel nervous because you just got stopped out, maybe with a small loss, and you're like, shit, I don't know if I should take this. But I wouldn't give it if I wasn't doing it. So I wouldn't be giving the signal if I wasn't in it. So that one might be the one, and it would have been, obviously, if you would have just got into it, you'd have been up, quite a bit right now, probably.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
So, you can hesitate, and that's up to you. I'm not telling you to do every signal I give. I'm just saying that I don't hesitate. That's my point. My point is I'm not hesitating. I'm just getting into the next one, getting the next one, getting the next one. And, I could have 2 in a row, 3 in a row, but usually not. Usually the third time is the charm. If I got stopped out 2 times in a row and you see me get re-entering again, chances are that one's going to be the one. It's very rare that I have 3 stops in a row. But,
Okay.
But not always. I mean, I can't promise that that's going to be the case, but
I understand.
but I don't worry too much about it. Me personally, because my stop losses are a small percentage of my margin on that. So the wins exceed the losses. So that's all I think about. I don't care. I'm pretty confident in my decision. If I start getting hesitant and I start getting worried, then I'd be out of business. I wouldn't be able to even give signals anymore if I'm over here chewing my teeth saying, oh my God, I have 2 losses in a row. I wonder if this one's going to be a loss. And then people are going to think I don't know what I'm doing. I could really ruin myself here with those kinds of thinkings, right? But I don't worry about that because I already know what the laws of average are. I already know what my trade percentage is. I already have that dialed in. And I already kind of know what this is going to do. Like this big breakout of this overall downward trending bull flag right here, after retesting previous resistance, is usually, I would say, not 100% of the time, but 98% of the time, going to break out. And that is what happened. And so if it didn't break, like here, remember here, I was waiting for it to come down and retest the center line. And I said, chances are it's going to come down and retest that. but it didn't. And I went long anyway, because it broke out. I'm like, screw it. That doesn't have to happen every time, but this usually happens every time before the breakout. So,
Right.
and then, here, like I could have closed this out here and taken a big profit, but I held it while it came all the way down, and my stop loss was right here at 118. I mean, what was the stop loss? And I put it there for a reason, guys. 118.085. It came right down to 018, like 95. Like it just missed it. Why? Because this was the resistance that it probably would come down to retest. Worst case scenario, right there. And I put my stop loss under it. So that's exactly what it did. It came down and retested that, basically, almost, not even quite. It didn't even quite hit it, but and then it climbed back up. Now, guys, we are creating what looks like a nice little cup. And we are also in an upward trending channel, and we're coming up to the top of the now you might see my entry is different on this one. This is USDT. That's because I added contracts. I kept adding contracts that was getting higher, so it just pushes my entry up a little bit. But I moved the stop loss into profit now, and this morning. So my stop loss now is at 123.09. But it looks, and look what it did. It wicked, it pumped up, came back down a little bit, and look, it wicked right down to my stop loss. I mean, it didn't trigger it, but look how close it was right there.
Yeah, I think my only hesitation was just because I know that you're on it like 24/7 watching it, and I'm having to do a little bit different, the limited with the trailing stop loss and stuff like that because of work. So that's the only thing I was looking at was my trading has to be a little bit different for right now than yours. So I was just,
Yeah.
thinking it over. That's all.
No, I understand it, and trust me, I've been that way myself before in the past, especially when there's a couple in a row or one loss. Even if there's not two in a row, you have one, and like it does make you hesitant to jump back in sometimes. But generally speaking, the signal isn't incorrect. The timing is sometimes off a little bit.
Fluid, right? I get
when
it.
Yeah, and not only
Okay.
that, but if your stop loss wasn't, if you put your stop loss where I said to, it wouldn't have got triggered on this last one. Well, you were talking about the one before that. But if you-
The very first one. Yeah, exactly.
So,
Okay, well,
I mean,
thank
generally,
you.
yeah. Also, if your stop loss wasn't there, and I never recommend anybody not using a stop loss, but if I think that we're breaking down and we're going to short, and like this is not going to go up any further, like if I think we're at a top, or I think that we're going to reverse position, I will definitely let you know in the signal channel. I will not let you just stay in a position long if I think it's reversing. Just like
Gotcha.
I think I said somewhere in here. See right here, XRP broke to the downside as well as BTC, bearish in the short term, closed positions, waiting for a bounce confirmation, attempt at new all-time high delayed for the short term. This was just on the 11th, but I closed these positions because it broke to the downside. And let me go back and show you what that looked like. Where was that? I don't even know where it was. Oh, I think it was, we had a little cup somewhere along the way. Let me go look at the XRP. XLM, XLM. We had a bunch of trades this week. I'll just go to XRP and show you. But yeah, it's if I'm in a position long and I see it reversing, something strange is happening, I'm out for the short term. I think that was it right here. We were breaking to the downside. Yep, this was the 11th. Instead of bouncing here and climbing out on the 50% line and bouncing out and finally breaking out, it went below all this. Now, nothing was really wrong with that. If I extend the bear flag or the bull flag out, nothing was really wrong with it. It just, it went through the upward trending support. And then it came back up above, it hit it as resistance right here. And then it broke back above it and then held. And right now it's kind of holding. Let's see. Let me just see if it is or not. See if this is in the right spot. Yeah, right now it's holding above it. So it went back above it. So In the short term, I was out because this breaking this upward trending support was not necessarily a good sign. And not only that, but it's a bull flag, and the only time bull flags don't break to the upside is usually when they're up against resistance. And this bull flag was up against major resistance here at the $3.37 range, which was previous support up here.
Nico, when you get a chance, I was wondering if we can go over Bitcoin dominance and its relation to Ethereum, reaching all-time highs, and most of the altcoins, as far as like the crypto 3 and like basically all the other altcoins, they're the crypto 3 chart is going up higher now. That correlation.
Yeah.
Basically, like if it's alt season time or not.
It may or may not be. That's not normally my area of topics there with the altcoin season. Like Chad and Bill, if you're on, you're more than welcome to come on and go over that if you want. I can pull the chart up, but
I mean, it feels like it. Ethereum's pumping. Bitcoin's staying pretty level. I haven't looked at dominance. I haven't looked at total 3 yet today. We can look at that all on the basic call later.
What's the name of that chart? Excluding crypto total market cap,
Yeah.
excluding Bitcoin?
Yep. Total 3. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, I have it drawn up because we did discuss it, but and I think I did talk about this, a couple weeks ago, guys, but we are right about the breakout.
It feels right. It's starting to feel
Look at
right.
this. Right. Let me get rid of some of these other little lines here. And if we do, we're talking possibly a $2 trillion market cap or close to it. I would say in the 1.9 range on the breakout. Okay, so that's huge from where we're at right now. This doesn't look like a big line, but that's big, trust me. It's almost $1 billion into the market coming in. And as you can see right here, we're winding into the upward trending apex where the ceiling and the floor meet right here. And we hit it. We hit it. This is the weekly chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks banging our head against it. Now, generally speaking, that's usually what happens right before breakout. But that has happened before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, and then came back down. Trying it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Could we come back down? Yes. Could it break to the downside and not get through? Could, possibly. But this is a 4-year resistance at this level. And we're coming up to it. And we had a giant bear flag. Cup and handle. And this is not the cup and handle right here as so much right here, guys, which looks like one, right? That definitely looks like one. So much as this is. I would say this is more likely to be the cup. And the breakout on this cup and handle would be much higher than the $2 trillion market cap that I just said. It would be way much higher. It would be up in the 5 trillion range up here somewhere. 3.5, 3.4. So now there is no guarantee of an altcoin season, just to be clear. A lot of people are like, oh, are we going into altcoin season? Yeah, we could be.
Also, the Bitcoin dominance breaking down part and compared to last bull run.
So phase 3, this is where we could be right here. Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin, and large caps are going parabolic. Bitcoin's not really going parabolic yet, but Ethereum is starting to outperform. Bitcoin is hitting all-time highs. Ethereum rather. Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin, and we hear talks about the flipping phase overlap. Money is starting to trickle into large caps where we see large buy-ups happening. Phase 4, large caps have gone full vertical and we're seeing blow off tops. Not happened yet.
As far as Bitcoin going parabolic, do you think would you consider this parabolic, considering that we get less and less returns every bull run?
No, not in the definition that most people think. Like, I mean, we're up 7x from the bottom. I mean, from the bear market bottom, and we've had some nice bullish moves on the way up, but none of these have been parabolic. I wouldn't say.
Got it.
I wouldn't say. I would say that we might have another big push to the upside on Bitcoin. I would say we need to break previous all-time high at 123, but I think once that happens, let me just get an idea here. I think in the short term, 130, 129, 130.
Any thoughts on Bitcoin dominance?
I think Bitcoin dominance is waning, isn't it? Let me go look. This looks like the next level up here, somewhere in this range. Just straighten some of this out. 12. I'll look at Bitcoin dominance in a second. Actually, this is more likely what's going on here. I think we broke the top. We broke through the top. Held this support for a minute. Broke down, retested, came back above, and now we're above it right now. I think we got this is if we're gonna have a parabolic move, guys, this is coming up. I think when we can hit the 130 and I would say that 167, 170K would be the top of this bull market cycle. If we can get there, that would be considered a parabolic move to the upside from where we're at right now. That would put us at that could, I would say, end of August, sometime in September. And then November, December, or October, November, December, kind of just hovering around up there before coming back down in a bear market cycle.
Do you think that Bitcoin dominance topped out at 66% for this cycle? You think it'll go back above?
The top one.
Oh, I never see it right off the bat. Very well could be. Maybe not. We do have some outflow coming in on the weekly here on Bitcoin dominance chart. I'm not sure how accurate that is.
If you right click and just put reset chart, it might look nicer.
I didn't. That's a neat trick. I didn't know. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I know I usually manipulate it over here and spread it out, but I keep forgetting that. I always think it's going to reset my drawings. Yeah, I mean, that's there could be some breakdown happening right now.
Telling you, I feel it coming.
If we really get precise here, we could be dropping right now from there. We also have some interesting.
Yeah, on my charts, I took note that it got rejected at 62.26%, or right above that, like basically 62.5% twice lately.
Yeah, I mean, we could be going into altcoin season now. I mean, you're seeing Ethereum taking off. You're seeing a lot of almost everything else, guys. I mean, if you go and if you look at just about everything is up over the last couple of weeks, everything. But a lot of things correlate with Bitcoin. But once Bitcoin stops climbing and starts to dip down a little bit, and then everything else continues up when they break correlation, usually they call that altcoin season, but they could all go up simultaneously. Bitcoin could still have a parabolic move to the upside, and everything else could also. Kendall says, where do you see ETH going to? I mean, I hold a lot of ETH. I'm hoping to see $20,000 ETH when Bitcoin probably hits its all-time high. At least 10,000. But there's a reason for that. It's not because of Ethereum by itself. It's because of everything, all the other major utility coins and cryptos that operate on the Ethereum blockchain network. Yeah, and breaking dominance. I mean, we're breaking an upward trending support line here on the dominance chart. Good job, Jeff. Yeah, we did have a little bit of a double top right here before that happened, and an M pattern, depending on how you want to look at it, guys. So let's go back to Got a nice upward trend on Bitcoin. That's the line you gotta watch out for, obviously, if it breaks that. Either one of these. Every one of these was an all-time high, guys. I mean, we had not an all-time high, but here we had an apex. Upward trending, resistance breakout. Upward trending, resistance, apex, breakout, retest. And another one here, pretty much. Still the upward trending, apex, resistance. We went to 112 here. Here was 108 and 109, come all the way down to retest previous resistance here as support. And then we hit it again here. We did wick up to 112, came back below, resistance, breakout. Now we're at 123. We did come down to retest the 112. But as you can see, big gap, smaller gap, smaller gap. Every time we break out to new all-time highs, it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So are we going to have a parabolic ballistic move to the upside? Or are we just going to pop up to 125 and then call it a day? And that'll be the end of the bull market. Let's just see. I don't know. Could go like this. Boom. 120, 130, let's just say. Possible. Then where would it go? Bear market bottom, next bear market, somewhere in this zone right here. Possibly. Not necessarily. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but
Hey Nico, how do we know when Bitcoin has hit the top to figure out it's time to start shorting?
I mean, it's hard to know exactly because everything that we know is based on history and charts, right? But there's always the possibility that this time could be different. And every bull market, people always think that this time is different. And it usually is not, right? Usually there's a bull market, bear market cycle over and over and over again. History keeps repeating itself. And generally speaking, it's not different. But this time could be different. It could be because there's a lot of things going on. You got mass adoption happening. We got presidents talking about it, and a president that has his own crypto, and his son has and his wife, they all have their own cryptos. Then their sons are opening up their own crypto platform and fund, right? Then you got laws being passed. Then you got 13 of the largest hedge funds in the world dumping billions into Bitcoin ETFs now, Ethereum ETFs, and now XRP ETFs coming. This is like different this time for sure, right? At least all of that is different, but will it be different on the charts? And so it's hard for me to predict, but if we go to, let's just say the 12-month chart, the only thing I can tell you is based on history that every fourth candle after a bull market top, let's just look at it. This is the bull market top back in 2013, right here, 2013, that's the top. And then you just count 4 candles to the next top. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the top of 2017 bull market. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the top of 2021 bull market. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are in the 4th candle right now, but we have 4 months and 19 days left of this candle. So when the next candle prints in
David,
months,
I was on the other
in
one.
19 days, Steve, mute yourself out, please, or Mike. When this 4th candle prints in 4 months and 19 days, and that next candle starts, whatever the top was here, historically has been the top. But I can't guarantee it's going to always be that way, but that's what it's been. So that's the only way you will tell for now until that changes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So
Thanks.
that's what I will be doing. I will tell you this, when we get down to, well, we don't even have to, it doesn't even have to be 4 months and 19 days. Once there's like 2 weeks left or a month left, if I see that this candle went all the way up to 160, let's just say, and came all the way down to 135, I already know that 160 is the top. Because it could do this, like this one went all the way up to $1,256 back in 2013. This one went all the way up to $1,242 for Bitcoin. And over the last month or so, it came all the way down to 749 before this candle opened. I mean, this candle started. Now, this candle did attempt to get back up there, but it didn't. This was the top. This candle, same thing, went all the way up to 19,600, came all the way down to 13,900. And then this candle started. This one went up a little bit after it started. So here's the problem. Let's just say this candle gets all the way up to 175, comes back down, and then this candle opens right here at 126. This candle could try to get back up a little bit, and then maybe it only gets up to 141. Comes back down, and then that's it. That's the beginning of the bear market. So all I can tell you is what history is showing. History is showing the fourth candle after every bull market top is the top. Now every one of these candles is 1 year, and these are 4-year cycles. 4 years, 4 years, 4 years. And that's the way it's been going all the way back to 2009. So,
Nico,
I can't predict the exact day and time or dollar amount, but generally speaking, it will be somewhere in the next 4 months and 19 days. Yes, go ahead.
does that first one have 5 green candles from the 2009?
Say that one more time.
The two from 2009. Could you go back to that? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles. Then there's 3 green candles, and then 3. Then so it started out with 4 green candles. That's everything that each candle represents a year.
Right.
So the first is a red candle. That's a year, first year.
Well, it's when the chart started keeping track. Actually, Bitcoin was around for a year before this as well, and there were no cycles before then. And this is 4 candles, but I'm including the bear market bottom. So in other words, here's the top in 2013, and I'm counting 4 candles: 1, 2, 3, 4 to the next top. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the next top. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the next top. So if this is the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, this was the top, but it's red. So is it red because there was a candle higher than this before? Or is it red because when it launched, it came down first? When Bitcoin started and first appeared on the chart, it came down first before the next candle opened. That's hard to tell here because I don't have another candle before it to gauge that. But you are correct. Counting this, that's 5 candles. But
Trips me up a little bit. But
generally speaking, there's usually never more than 3 green candles before the next bear market, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
yeah.
But I don't know if that was a bear market or if that was just when crypto launched, when Bitcoin was first put on the chart to keep track of. It's hard to see. Let's look at.
So we're at the tipping point of something major.
Yeah, we're in the last 4 months basically of either a bull market or a change in bear market, bull market cycles. Yeah, it's either going to continue to do what it does every 4 years, or it's going to change this time, which is the same every time. It's either going to be a bull market, bear market cycle, and we're in the last couple months of a bull market cycle, and then we're going to go into a bear market like history has done over and over and over again, not just in crypto, but in the stock market, in the real estate market, over and over and over again, right? Stock market going back 100 years, bull and bear market cycles, but crypto is newer, right? We only have 15 years.
Super cycle.
4 bull markets. This is the 4th bull market. Say that again.
Do you feel a super cycle? All these elements that are going on?
Either. Well, no, I don't. To be honest with you,
Right.
a lot of people do. A lot of people think that the crypto winter is over. It's never going to come back, right? There's not going to be any more bear markets. Like even Michael Saylor says this sometimes, and I kind of cringe. It's kind of like hearing Donald Trump say something I don't like, because I like him and I'm glad he's there and I think he's doing the right thing. And I would prefer an entrepreneurial minded president over the typical politician. But he does say some dumb shit sometimes that makes me irk.
Cringe.
That makes me cringe. Yeah. And he does say some things sometimes that I would not say the way he said it. But it seems to always work out for him. But I think sometimes he's his own worst enemy. And even though he overcomes the problems caused by what he says, he doesn't necessarily have to create the problem to begin with. But then again, who knows? Maybe that's his strategy. Maybe creating the problem and then overcoming it is the strategy. David Icke, I don't know if you guys are familiar with David Icke, but as David Icke used to say, problem, reaction, solution. You create the problem, you get the reaction, and then you come up with the solution. And that's been going on for eons with world leaders. Most of the problems that we have in the world are created first, and then they get our reaction to the problem, and then they come up with the solution. So they already had the solution to the problem that didn't exist. But if they would have just come up with a solution without the problem, no one would accept it. No one would think that was a solution to anything. Take away everyone's guns. Who would go for that? They wouldn't. But let's create a problem first. Mass shootings, school shootings, violence in the street. We got to get rid of guns. Now you have a problem. They come up with a solution. Now some people are voting to get rid of guns. Now, still probably won't happen, but that's just an example of problem, reaction, solution. We want to get the oil from Saddam Hussein. Let's come up with a problem. No one's going to let us just go attack Saddam Hussein and take the oil from the region. We got to have a problem first. He's got weapons of mass destruction. He's going to use them to blow up the world. Let's scare Americans into thinking that Saddam Hussein is a threat to us so that we have an excuse to go in and wipe him out. Now, you guys may disagree with my political viewpoints. Doesn't matter. I don't even know if I'm right or wrong on that. My instinct is telling me that we create the problem first and then we come up with a solution. And the same thing in the financial markets and everything else. But when the big players start to see where Bitcoin is going and crypto is going and all this stuff, and then they say, okay, wait a minute, let's slow this train down a little bit so we can prepare. Let's slow this train down a little bit so we can get ahead of it so that we benefit the most. Let's not let all these just regular crazy people who wanted to get out of the system make billions or millions on us. Let's slow it down. Let's cause problems. Let's have big dumps. Let's make it sound like we're going to not allow things to happen. Let's create laws. Let's do all this shit. Let's regulate it first so that we can get our ducks in order first so that when we do have the big push to the upside, we benefit the most. James says Saddam and his family were definitely a problem. Maybe, but not to me. I didn't have a problem with him. He didn't affect my life one bit. They were probably doing some shit in their country, and his sons were total, lunatics, but that may be true. But Iraq was a beautiful country, and the people of Iraq didn't have to pay for anything, and everything was paid for them by the oil pulled out of the ground. Now, of course, that gave Saddam permission to go and do whatever he wanted with everybody in town, but I'm not sticking up for Saddam Hussein. I'm just saying that he did not have weapons of mass destruction. And the one thing that he was trying to do, along with Gaddafi, is to separate from the rest of the world and become a nation. It was nationalism and it's at its finest, and create his own economy inside of Iraq and kind of not be part of the world, the foreign allegiance type of situation that Trump wants to get away from as well. And that is whenever other countries try to do that, they, the bigger players on the field don't want it, and they want to put a stop to it.
Gaddafi recalled his gold, and that's why he wanted all his gold back so that he could create, or that he could go on his own.
He wanted to go on the gold standard. Yeah. He wanted to go on the gold standard with his own money. I mean, that was a very rich country, guys. These people, like, they were taking care of their citizens. There's a lot more to it that most people don't know, because what you hear on the mainstream media is even Russia, for instance, trying to make Putin the bad guy. I'm not saying he's a good guy. I'm just saying that go to Russia, go to some of the cities in Russia and see how beautiful it is. And there's no trash anywhere. And there's no crime in some of these major metropolitan areas there. And it's nothing like you think it is. And because what we're programmed to believe about these enemies of ours is all intentional, guys, is to keep us in fear of certain things. But anyway, I don't want to get on that bandwagon right now. That's a whole nother conversation. But these guys aren't stupid. They're not maniacal. They're not trying to go to war with the US or anything. And by the way, there's nothing to worry about there. If they do, we are 10 times stronger than most all of these nations. And that's why I think a lot of people worry, oh my God, Russia, did you hear Russia has a warship right outside of California, right outside of whatchamacallit? Alaska. Yeah, well, that's where Russia is. Right outside of Alaska. Go ahead.
I said in Cuba.
Yeah, in Cuba. Do you know where do you know where all of our warships are? Everywhere. Right outside of every country. We are all over the place. All right, so back to, well, let's see where we're at right now. Bitcoin is 121.3. It's trying to climb. I think we got a good chance at.
Hey Nico, is it
I'm 30.
okay to do your charting on TradingView and use those numbers to plot on Phemex?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on TradingView right now, what you're seeing. So I play around on TradingView. I have my I also have my market cipher over here on TradingView, which you guys don't have to have, but it is available to you in the not for free, but you can go to market cipher if you want. It's in the I got a referral link in the Discord. But yeah, you can get a much longer view of the price charts on TradingView than you can on Phemex. TradingView goes back all the way to the beginning. You can see every up and down going all the way back to Bitcoin, all the way back here when it was, 2 cents, and even earlier than that. Zero fractions of a penny back here. There is something interesting though, guys. If we go back to 2000 and 11, I think it is. Let me just go and make sure. Right here. We do have a long running. Right here. You have a long running support and resistance line. That we are currently. We are currently above. But I would say that if we break that, that would be considered bear market territory. Which happens every once in a while. That happened here, it could happen here. Happened here. These bear markets. And we did have a scare here where we got into the Gaussian channel, but we popped back out back here on the way up at the 30,000 range. And if we take a closer look from the previous bull market top here at 2000, I mean, it's 65,000 in 2021 to the current level right now, we are above it. And we did hold a support and we did break back above it. So a lot of positive things happening. Let me go back to, and let's just look at, while I'm on this, let's look at market cipher and see what it's saying. So a market cipher, we do have a green dot on the hourly, most recently. On the daily, we have money flow coming in. As you can see right here, we had a green dot down here, and that was like a week, 10 days ago. And then we climbed up from down here at the 112 range. We broke out of the bull flag. That would have been a great entry. We did go long, then I believe a lot of people did, but I wanted to wait till we broke out of the actual bull flag, which was right here, and we retested. And so as you can see, we're still climbing, and the wave here is not even cresting, it's not even turning around. So that's like right here in this level. And we didn't even get above this line yet. So we're still down here and it's still climbing. That's on the daily. Let's look at the weekly. On the weekly, we got a green dot right now. If we go down to the lower time frames, like the 10-minute, we do have money flow turning back up right now. We have a higher low right here on the money flow, a little confusion up here. It's hard to really tell on the lower time frames, but we zoom in. To me, on the low, on the 10-minute, we just have upward trending support. And right now we have a lower low on this little thing right here, but it could easily be trending up right now to break that and get to this all-time high right here. This all-time high right here, I mean. This could be turning out to be a nice big cup and handle. Actually, that's not the all-time high. That just happened. I'm on the lower time frames. I keep forgetting. Let me go to the higher one. That's what we're on V2, I believe. I mean, this W right here, this W pattern, when we completed the other side right there, that's pretty much where we broke out to. Now we are creating another small W. Maybe. It's hard to tell. The little wacky. But the fact, guys, that we just keep coming up here to this all-time high, and we retested this. This is important right here. We retested the 112 right here. As you can see, that was resistance and resistance from the previous bull flag. And before we broke out of this bull flag, this one here, before we broke out of it, we retested this 98K, which was resistance here and all the way back here. Support, support, resistance. Retested, breakout, retest, hit resistance at 112, breakout, bull flag again, retest 112 before breaking out. This is just a repetitive cycle that keeps happening. Should be pretty clear. And the next, this breakout right here, in my opinion, should be taking us to the 128 to 130 range. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it today. So should you be long right now? Well, now that we're, I mean, yes, down here, but now that we are pushing this 123, you might want to wait to see if we have a pullback here, because we are now at 121.5. We're double topping right here. Are we going to have any kind of pullback or resistance there? Or is this going to turn into a little cup and handle? Is this going to be a, oops, let me get rid of that. That's the breakout line. It's going to be a cup and handle. Did we already hit the top right here, resistance at 121.5, even though 123 was the high? You can see back here we had some resistance. We wicked through to 123, came back down and had resistance. So that could be the line. Came very close to it right here, but we didn't quite hit it. So I think we're wicking right up to that level right now. We pulled back a little bit. It's trying right now. We got green on the RSI down here. We have a green candle here. We got another green candle right here, right after a red candle. So it's upward trending right now. So I would wait for it to get above this level. And then long for sure, because guys, that's going to be a little bit of a, I wouldn't say parabolic, but that's going to be a $5,000 pump to the upside. I guess you can call that parabolic move. As far as price range is concerned, that would be maybe a 5% move to the upside. At 10x leverage, that's a 50% gain.
Nico, I got a quick question.
Yes.
I took your trade, but I took it a little later. And on the bottom, it says that my entry price is 119,460. And right now it's at 121,640. But when I scroll over, it says realistic profit and loss, P&L, but it says I'm in the negative.
Okay, it's not realistic. It's realized, unrealized, and realized.
Okay.
Right? Now,
So the green number is what I'm looking at.
unrealized is your profit. That's what you're in right now. Right here, you should see total P&L. That's if it's green, that's how much you're up in profit right now. Realized P&L is the fees that are going to come out when you close this trade.
Perfect. Thank you for.
That's the exact. That's what it's going to cost you to take this trade. This is the profit. So if you take, like right now, I'm up $855 on the Bitcoin trade. Minus, if I close it out right now, minus $34 out of that. I'm up $150 on the ETH trade. If I close it out right now, minus $8 on that.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nico, can you look at ENA?
DNA. DNA. Is that what you said? Don't see it.
ENA.
Oh, ENA. I think we were looking at this the other day, and it looks like, I mean, if I were to guess where it's going to, would be somewhere in this range. Right? So might be one to get in. And if it does get up here, I mean, it could be a nice big W, but so far it has not broke out since it's been listed on Phemex. There could be more to this, but on Phemex, this is the beginning I can see. But yeah, I mean, this is the major resistance up here. It's possible it could be perfectly squared. You know, you could do it this way too if you want. But the reason why is because if you really zoom in, you'll see there was resistance, breakthrough, support, and then fall through resistance. So that could be the line. And then it came back up and hit it here. And that's possibly where it's going here. So this could be a nice little long up to here. But if it is downward trending, lower highs, then just keep that in mind because it could be here and not get any higher. So plan for here, maybe $1.29, but be on have another line here, right here, because if you see it hit that and then start to come back down again, you know that that is probably the downward trending resistance, especially if it falls sharply after that and then comes back up and does one of these like it did here. Then it might not be going up to there. Then you might be wanting to short it because it looks like it could be. I mean, this is the history of this channel on this right here is here's the bottom, here's the top, here's the bottom. We don't have too many tops and bottoms to compare it to, but Scott. Oh, you said it was Nico, so I don't know what you want. You're welcome, Cheryl. Have a good day.
Nico, can I ask you a quick question on the realized P&L discussion you just had? So in case there has been a partial profit that I took out, I'm just trying to understand why would the realized P&L show green? It should be typically in the red, right? -1, 2, or whatever.
No, it does happen sometimes when your realized P&L will be green. And that just means that either you've already paid the fee, like if you said you took a partial profit out,
Yeah.
and they probably deducted it out of that already.
Okay. Got it.
There could be another reason. Maybe you got a credit or something like that, or maybe I don't know. Bill, any?
When you hold a
Yeah, if you
position for
get-
a long time, it happens.
Yeah, if you're holding too long or holding a long time, say that again.
Yeah, if the funding fees, sometimes longs will pay shorts and shorts will pay longs. So if you're the opposite direction, you'll be green because they paid you for holding the position. Also, if you sold a partial profit, it'll show it there.
Yeah, I think that's why it's showing it because I did sell partial profit. Okay, that answers the question. Thank you though.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, a lot of people say, oh, the fees suck. The fees are too much. The fees are not much at all, guys. The fees are low. And they're actually probably lower than even traditional trading platforms like E-Trade or Fidelity if you're trading the stock market. You have maker and taker fees, in and out fees. If you want to see exactly what they are, click the Phemex logo up here in the top left corner and scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, all the way to the very bottom, and go to support, and then go to fees and conditions. And you'll see, I mean, mine on futures contracts, mine is 0.003. 0.003% maker fee, 0.04% taker fee. Maker, taker, entering the position, closing the position. Fractions, tiny fractions. Now, of course, the more you trade, the more money you trade and all that stuff, the better the fees get for you. But come to that, and if you want to read exactly, you know, where you are and all that stuff. But it is the price of doing business. It's the price you got to pay to play in their sandbox, so to speak. They're providing you the platform. That's how they make their money. They don't make their money on you losing money. They want you to make money. The money, when you make a profit, guys, it doesn't come from the platform. It comes from other traders. It comes from the liquidity in the market. So they make their money just on helping you facilitate the transaction. That's all. And it's usually very small in comparison. So like right now, if I closed all this out, I'd still make, you know, make $1,000 on these two trades. I'm paying $34 and $8. Okay, whoopee, big deal. No, I don't even concern myself with it. That's like me trying to keep track of the price of gas. I don't even care what it is. It is what it is. I need to drive. Got it anyway. Don't trip over dollars to save pennies, as the old saying goes, or trip over pennies to save dollars. I can't remember which way it was. Scott, did you have a question for me? Because you just said my name in the chat, but you didn't add anything to it. Just says Nico, comma. Maybe you were getting ready to type something and you got knocked off the call or something. Other than that, guys, let's see what else, anything else you want me to look at, talk about?
Scott did type his question after.
Oh, let me scroll down and see. Oh, I got it.
Looks like a Zoom issue. Maybe need to zoom out.
I see it now. A question: when I'm in a trade on Phemex, the last information about the trade is margin. The TPSL field doesn't show up. There are 4 boxes that are covered up the rest of the trade info. How do I move them out of the way? Great question. It's real simple to fix. See over here, guys, TPSL, ADL, reserve, and then over here you got size and limit and market, right? If you can't see this, all of this right here is pushed over here. You just need to zoom out. So you come up here to the 3 little dots at the top of your computer, click that, click zoom, zoom out. Or zoom in, whatever. Zoom out. You would probably need to zoom out. So you might be at 110%, 120% because you zoomed in. You got to zoom back out to 100%. If you're at 100%, you still can't see it. Go to 95 or 90% and see if you can see it.
Nico, it's Marlene. First time on.
Hi, Marlene.
Hiya. Real quick question. Trying to open up Phemex. Who would I ask if I have an issue with? I'm going to the Phemex.com, you know, AK Crypto Renegades.
Okay. And you've opened an account or you're just trying to?
Trying to open an account right now.
What's the problem?
It's not taking me to the right site.
Not getting it open.
Can't get it open. When you open it, do you remember what it says on the Phemex page? First page?
There should be a pop-up window asking you to click a blue button saying that you're not a US citizen.
Right. I'm not getting that. Okay, I don't want to bother the group then. Who can I contact?
What browser are you using?
Yes.
Chrome, Safari.
I think we're using
Chrome or Edge? Edge.
Try Chrome. The
Okay.
link, make sure you follow the link that's in the Zoom chat and use Chrome and let me know. Come to my
Okay.
call after this one or hit me up in the help desk.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll get you fixed. We'll get you straightened out on that. There's also, if you don't have an account yet, I mean, once you have an account, and you have a problem. We do have a concierge, a liaison at Phemex that usually solves most of the problems that any of our members have very quickly. So if you still have a problem after you open your account, let me know. But get on Bill's next call coming up here at 2, which is the basics call, and or send him a message in the help desk in Discord, and he'll get you fixed.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Bill.
Cool.
Scott, do you guys like Venmo for transferring crypto to Phemex? I'm not sure if you can do it from Venmo, but I know you can from Cash App. Can you buy and sell, transfer crypto on Venmo?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you can. Yeah, try it.
I don't use it for that. I use Cash App. I like Cash App. It's simple. It's convenient. The KYC takes 2 days usually.
Yeah. Whenever you're testing these things out, just send a little bit. Send like $5 worth. Make sure it goes through. Make sure everything works first before you send large amounts. So many people test. They don't even test things. They just set an account up and they send everything that they want to send. $5,000, $10,000. And they wonder, and then something goes wrong. They're like, oh, it didn't show up. I don't know where it went. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, never do that, guys. I've been sending shit daily for years. I can do it with my eyes closed. I still send a test amount when I'm sending a large amount most of the time, unless it's a wallet address that I've just been sending to that day already, and I already know it works.
Nico,
Yes.
when we go to Bitcoin on the daily chart, I don't know if you can put the line. I see like more than 3 touch point. Is it that very bullish, or can you please help
This
me?
is the daily that I'm on right now. Are you talking about
Put the line?
this line?
Done.
On the daily, you said, right?
Yeah, don't put the candle, put the line, and you will see like you know when they're talking about like a touch point, like 3 touch point to go the direction that it's going. When you put a line, you change the candle to line, and then it's like it shows
Oh,
like
line. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
You can see like the touching point more clearly. You see that too?
Yeah. What touch? Where? Right here?
No, on the right, you see like 3 touch point. They
Oh,
normally
right
say
here, right
when
here, right here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's not that mean it's very bullish, or it's not that. I
Yeah,
just
that's good. That's good that you noticed that. But if you see, if I go back to candle, you see I already have a line here. And we are watching
Yeah.
that. And as you can see, every time it touched it in red, I mean, it got green after that, red, green, green. It is bullish and it is upward trending. The only thing is, and it is holding that support right now, but we are coming up to major resistance right here at the 123, which is the previous all-time high right here. So
Okay.
it does have to get through that. So now that we're getting closer into this apex, meaning this corner right here, where this upward trend line and this ceiling converge, we're getting closer up in here. It has to either break through that line or break through this line. It's either going to do one or the other. If it breaks through this line, then we could retest and come back down to this line. If it breaks through this line, which is what we wanted to do, it could retest and start to go up from there.
Okay. Thank you.
But yeah, good observation. And yeah, you can go to the line, go to the, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just for people who are on a short, they have to really watch it, because it can,
Yeah.
when it does 3 point like that, normally most of the time, like you would say, it's not 100% because it's against resistance. It can just shoot up, and then all the short that get liquidated.
Yeah, good observation. Yeah. So guys, yeah, you can go to the candles here. Some people like bars. The bars, by the way, show you the open, I mean the how far the candle went up during that duration and where it opened and where it closed. I personally don't use that one. I usually use Ikenashi, which is a little bit more blurred. The lines are a little blurred, meaning it's all green coming up here. But if I go to regular candles, you'll see there's some red in between. Watch when I change it. So on the regular candles, we got green, red, green, red, green. And so most people use the regular candlesticks. But as you go, if you go and look at the line bar, which is what she was just referring to, sometimes it's clear for people to see. There's no static in between, but we do have like, basically we have upward trending support. We do have 3 touch points. It is breaking. Obviously it broke this overall bull flag, and it is coming up now, and it is on its way up to this resistance right here, which
Thank you, Nico.
hold on a second. I'm wondering what I don't see here. Why is it not showing? Hold on one second. Oh, that's why. On the bar chart, it does. I mean, on the line chart, it doesn't show this wick up to 123, which was the all-time high. It just comes to here, which is 119. But we wicked all the way up to 123 before we're coming back down. That was the all-time high. Can't see it on the line chart. So to me, that's not as accurate. But you can still see the support. Hi, Nico. Anything new on Element? Will you have a rep on a call to share more about it? Yes, I'm waiting to. I've talked to him a couple times about it. We're just trying to match up our times. He's usually not available during our live calls, and he's going to try to reschedule his time to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to maybe just interview him or do a little Zoom call with him, and then I'll just upload the recording of that if I can't get him to be live with us.
Sorry, Nico. If you had to copy the bull flag, the previous bull flag on the daily, where you will measure it to?
This one here?
Yes. If you had to measure it, where you will take it from and where you think it can go if you're like
I would take it from right here on this breakout all the
Mhm.
way to 123. And then I would put that right here at the breakout. And I've already said a couple times that that's where I think it's going, the 128 to 130 range.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. It really is this breakout right here, where this was the previous bull flag. It broke out and retested and then pumped up.
Okay.
And if you take that and put it to the most recent breakout, that's about where.
Yeah, my own problem. I didn't know if I had to start it from the breakout or from the bottom where it start. Like
Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
thank you.
would be more conservative than I am generous. So in other words, I would rather just count these than all of them to be on the conservative side, but that would still bring us probably, if I were to do that, that would be right about here. And then that would still bring us up to somewhere in the 128. That's why I say 128 to 130.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Pablo. Then, what's the best way to add contracts to an open trade and how will it affect your trade? I'm in an open trade right now, right? Margin, $2,794. Bitcoin, I'm long with 53,000 contracts. If I wanted to add more contracts right now, which I'm not, I would wait for it to break the 123. If it breaks 123 and holds a support, then I know it's going up. I will add more contracts. And how you do it is you just come over here, market order, slide this over to the amount of contracts that you want to add right here. Doesn't matter what the percentage is of your account balance, it's how many contracts do you want to add. So if I want to go from 53,000 contracts to 70,000 contracts, then you take 70,000 contracts to minus out 53,000 or whatever that difference is. You want to add that right here. So if I want to add another 20,000 contracts to my long, I'll just make sure it shows up here and I'll just click long again. And it will add that to my existing long. Now, you have to make sure that you're on the same chart. So right now, I'm on BTC USD. I'm sorry, yeah, BTC USD, which is a Bitcoin margin. If I go long right now, it's not going to add contracts to this position because this is a USDT long. But I really did want to go long on Bitcoin as well, but I'll wait for the breakout on that. So what I would do is I would come back and make sure that I'm on BTC USDT. And then I would come over here and add the contracts here. And just type the amount, put the amount of contracts you want to add and click the long position. And it will just add it to your existing position. You will not open another position. The only way you can open another position is if you go in the opposite direction. So if I want to if I want a long position right now, keep that open and go short at the same time, I could do that. I could come up here and then I would go short with 17,000 contracts, click open short position. And I would now have two open positions. I would have a short and a long open at the same time. I don't recommend you do that unless you absolutely 100% know what you're doing.
Nico, how would you add more leverage to that you were just explaining? Instead of contracts, can you just add leverage, or can you add leverage and more contracts also?
Yes, you definitely don't want to just add leverage without adding contracts. So if I did want to add leverage, I would just increase my leverage. So right now I'm at 19x leverage. I would just come up here, click on this, and increase my leverage. Let's say I want to go up to 22x. I just click that, confirm, and now I will be at 22x leverage. But if I do that without adding more contracts, then I'll be at higher leverage, but my margin will get lower. So instead of being at $2,796, I might be at $1,800. Because the more leverage you add, the lower your margin will go, unless you increase your margin or add more contracts. Okay, so just to give you an example, I know that might be confusing right now. Let's just say I'm at $3,000 margin right now. I'm at $2,794, but let's say I'm at $3,000 and I'm at 19x leverage. If I double my leverage from 19x to 38x, just double it, right? Then my margin will get cut in half down to 1,500. So if I want to keep my margin at 3,000, but I want to double my leverage, I will double my leverage. I will double my leverage, but when I go to double my leverage, I will double the amount of contracts as well. I will add another 1,500 contracts.
Okay, thank you.
In order to keep the amount that I'm risking the same, and but increase my leverage. Leverage is an interesting thing, guys. They're protecting you from yourself. Actually, when you increase your leverage and you go from 20x to 40x leverage without changing anything else, nothing changes on the amount of money you can make. A lot of people think that they're going to make twice as much money if things keep going in the right direction. Your percentage gain will change, but you're making that percentage gain on half the amount of money that you used to be trading with. So if you're trading with $1,000 and you double your leverage, you just cut your margin down to $500. So if you get 100% gain, you're making 100% gain on $500 instead of a 50% gain on $1,000. A 50% gain on $1,000 is exactly the same as 100% gain on $500, right? So there's no reason to increase your leverage unless you're going to increase your margin and your contracts as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And if you want more clarification on that, get on the basics call with Bill, because Bill can explain it even better than me, I'm sure.
Yeah, we go over that on every basics call.
These are a little bit more advanced things, guys. Just get consistently profitable first, especially if you're new. Because once you got the basics down and you know how to go long, go short, you know how to get in, get out, and you know how to use proper risk management, and you're now getting consistently profitable trades, then you can then you can increase leverage. I think a lot of people make a mistake right off the bat where they're in profit. Let's say they're up 20%, 50%. They took a signal, everything's going great. And they're like, shit, I'm only at 10x leverage. I wish I would have taken that trade at 50x leverage. And what do? They go up here and they switch it to 50x leverage, which you can do. But as soon as you do that, and you were at 10x leverage and you're up 50% and you switch it to 50x leverage, you're still going to be up 10%, but you're going to be up 10% on 20% of the amount of money that you had, because you were at 10x leverage with $500 or $1,000, let's just say. Now you're at 50x leverage. your $1,000 is going to drop down to $250 unless you increase your margin or contracts also. So just understand that first before you go play around with leverage. Just don't worry about leverage. That's a greed factor. That's you being greedy, thinking that it's going to make you more money, and you have to understand how to use it first. It's like getting a gun, thinking it's going to protect you from, but if you've never shot one before and you don't know how to shoot it, you might just shoot yourself first before you shoot the burglar breaking into your house. Still better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, but at the same time, learn how to use it. Pilar, nice to see you, dear. Hi, Nico. For a long time, for a long-term holder, what's a most reliable early warning sign that a bullish phase is about to flip into a bearish market? Good question. It's hard to tell. And when if you really are a long-term holder, then you wouldn't care about that, because you would just continue to hold because let's say Bitcoin is going to $10 million someday. If you're a real long-term holder, you're not going to get out until then. But if you're looking to flip, like if you're looking to get out of the bull market, let's say it only goes to 150 in this bull market, and then it drops back down to 100. And then in the next bull market, it goes from 100 all the way back up to 700,000. And then in the next bear market, it goes down to 400,000. In the next bull market, it goes all the way up to 1.5 million. It could be 8 years before it gets up to that 1.5 million range. But during that time, we've got a bull market, bear market, bull market, bear market, 2 bull market, 2 bear market cycles, right? And during that time, you could have got out at the top of one of those bull market cycles and got back in at the bottom and bought more, and then, and made more money that way. But that's a crystal ball question, because I don't really know exactly when the top will be in or when the bottom will be in. But we get ideas based on this. I'll show you right now. Let me go over to like what I was talking about earlier with the 12-month candlesticks. But let me get rid of Market Cipher here and put up the RSI, because the RSI, the stochastic RSI, and the RSI, let's just go to the regular RSI on the weekly time frame. Is going to tell us when the bottom is in. Oops. Where I just took that from. There we go. Let's go back to the last bull market, bear market cycle. Here's the bull market top, and then here's the bear market bottom. Take a long running downward trend line. We were calling the bottom at 17K in this group. It went down to 15. So 17 wasn't the bottom, but we were calling it the bottom. And the reason why is because, more like this, is because at 17K, it broke out of a downward trending resistance. But it did come all the way down further to retest that line. So let's look at it here on the RSI. On the RSI, we had a bull market top at 41K, and then we had the next top at, the all-time high was just 68K. But on the RSI, we peaked here, and then we had a lower high here, which is bearish divergence. So this was going up in price, but this was going down. So we had a high, and then we had a lower high, and then we had a lower high here. And then it just kept coming down, coming down, coming down. So right here is when we broke out, and this is when we were calling the bottom was in right here. We finally broke out of this long running downward trending resistance on the RSI when we had lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower high, and then we broke out right here, and that was right here at about 17.5, 18K. We broke out. But then it went up and dropped all the way down to 15.5. And as you can see here on the RSI, it dropped all the way down and retested. that really was the bottom, and that would have been the best entry to go long. So when we do finally go into a bear market, it's going to look similar. It's going to be like this. We're going to have, we have the high of the RSI. We have a lower high and a lower high, possibly several more lower highs along the way. And we have a floor. Let's just say the floor is here. We hit the floor here, we bounced, we had a lower high. We hit the floor here, we went through it here. And then we bounced and we had a lower high again, and then we went through the floor here. Bear market. All of this is bear market. We're not close to it at the moment. So we could go up to 130K, 150K, and still have a lower high here. And then we could come down a little bit and we could go up to 170K and still have a lower high here. But once we get down here, even if we're at 100 and maybe we're down to 150 now. We went to 170, now we're down to 150, 130, 140, and then we break this. Once we break this, we're definitely in bear market territory. And then once it comes back up from the depths and breaks back through this area here and retest, that's pretty much the beginning of the next bull market cycle. And we will see that coming before it happens. We will know when we're in a bear market here on the weekly time frame on the RSI. We are having bearish divergence. We do have lower highs happening on the RSI, which is very similar to what happened back here in 2021. The difference so far here is that we've had a third touch point and we actually had a higher high. So we had a high here at at 73.5, right when we broke the previous all-time high. We had a highest high right here on the RSI, and then we broke up to 108, and that's when we had our next lower high on the RSI at 108. We double topped at 109, and as you can see, it was even lower, and we were below the moving average. And then we come all the way down, retest, and we break out to 112, which was almost up to the top here. And we break 112 and we come to 123 right here. That's the new all-time high. And as you can see, we still have a lower high. That's not good necessarily. It's not bad or good. It's just bearish divergence continuing. Back here, the third touch point back here, we had a lower high. We did not get a higher price. That was the beginning of the bear market. Here, we had a third touch point, but we actually had a higher high on the price. So bull market's not over yet. If this came up to, like, it wouldn't even get to 112, didn't even break 112, and then we come down again, then maybe I would have been still bearish like I was when that was happening. But we could actually break all the way up to 130 and still stay below this and continue to have bearish divergence. But I will, someone asked earlier about a super cycle. I will say this. If we pop up to 130 on the price and this does get above this line and it does get above this previous high, then bearish divergence is over and we could very well have a super cycle where we just go parabolic to the upside here on the price. But the fact that we continue to have lower highs down here means that just not enough buying pressure for that to happen yet. Yes, we are making new highs, but they're not huge. They're not huge moves to the upside every time it happens. They're getting smaller. So as you can see right here, let's just look. Oops, keep accidentally moving that. As you can see, they're just getting the gaps between the breakouts, big, smaller, 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 tighter, tighter, smaller. So much so that it's getting harder to even see up here. The most recent one. We broke out, but we went to 123, And now we just broke out again of this bear flag, on this bull flag, but we did not get above 123 yet. We're at 125, 121.5 at the moment. But is this breakout going to be a huge parabolic move to the upside? I mean, so far they just keep getting smaller. So I don't know. It's hard to say right now. That's a crystal ball question. But for a long-term holder, like Pilar, like what you're asking, I would go to the 12-month time frame right up here on TradingView. Can't see it on Phemex so well. Well, you can, but and when this candle, the current candle that we're in is done and printed, meaning we got 4 months and 19 days left. You can see it right over here. How will you know that this candle is done is when there is another candle. When this candle is done in 4 months and 19 days, the next candle will start. That means this candle has printed. Printed means it's done moving. All these candles are printed because they cannot change anymore. They're frozen in time. We're currently in this one. This one has 4 months and 19 days left. Once the next one starts, this one's done, printed. Whatever the top was of that, whenever this one's printed, could be up at 170, could be at 220 for all I know, but it could also be right down here at 130 for all I know. It also could be the 123 that we already hit. That could be the top. We may not ever get higher than that. Is that probable? No, but is it possible? Yes, of course. But you really you won't know until 4 months and 19 days is over. You're welcome, Pila.
Thank you.
Good to hear from you. Always good to hear. We got members in here that have been here for years. Any other questions, guys? We're gonna wrap this call up. We got the basics call coming up in 10 minutes. Highly recommend you guys get on basics call. Bill just posted the link in the chat, in the Zoom chat, but also in the Discord. Always remember that if you ever need a link, just go into Discord. It's going to be in the announcements channel right here. Announcements. He just posted it right here. Basics, 2 p.m. Also in the main trade chat. Trade chat. Just posted it there. It's also in the Zoom chat that we're on right now. He just posted it there. Mark, missed Ethereum question earlier.
I just posted the question right there. It says, ditto, Ravi, I'm holding ETH, but not yet in a futures trade. Would you enter this uptrend, not a reversal at market? What stop loss?
On Ethereum. By the way, guys, I'm a long-term holder as well. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP are my 3 majors. I do have a lot of other stuff, but those are the 3 ones that I try to accumulate the most of because I think those are going to be the big players. And there will come a time when most of the other ones fall away as just novelties or, fun stuff. But Ethereum broke out of its 4-year. The Ethereum we're talking about. Let's go to the monthly. Can't see it on. Can't see it on. Can't see it on Phemex, but Ethereum broke out of its major resistance line right here, guys. Way up. I mean, new all-time highs up here at 4,700 right now. It's up $222, 5% just in the last 24 hours. Am I long on ETH right now? Yeah, long on ETH. Don't have a lot of contracts on it right now. But just so you know, just because I'm trading doesn't mean I'm not holding as well. Like for those of you who are long-term holders, like Bitcoin, I'm not really trying to time the market. On trading, I am. On day trades and accumulating more, I am trying to get in and get out. But on my hodling account, I'm kind of holding that long-term. Am I going to try to get out and convert it to USDT when I think the top is in and then buy it back, at a lower price when it drops in the next bear market? Not necessarily, because I'm accumulating. because I bought some at $300. I bought some at $10,000. I bought some at $20,000. I bought some at $50,000. I bought some at $100,000. So I'm dollar cost averaging on my purchases, but I'm buying weekly. So I've been buying even recently at its all-time high price. So, but if I look back, if I go back and look at my overall P&L on it, pretty sure I'm up from when I started buying. Let me look. XRP, man, holy cow. Been buying that since my unrealized return on XRP is 147% unrealized since going back since it was, 49 cents. Well, I had some at 15 cents, but I started buying it. I went long and started buying it at 49 cents. So as it started to break the 49-cent resistance that we had back then, it's gone pretty parabolic since then. Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, I'm just regretting not having more of it, but I wanted to have a lot more of it before it broke 100,000. Guys, everybody thinks it's too late, but are you gonna? I mean, when it gets to 700,000, are you gonna wish you bought more at 100,000? When it gets to 1.8 million, are you gonna wish you bought more at 100,000? So it's too late to buy it at 10,000. It's too late to buy it at 1,000. It's too late to buy it at 500, but it ain't too late to buy it. That's for damn sure. It's 121,500 right now. Could we come down in the next bear market back to 100K? Yes. Is there a guarantee that that's going to happen? No. That's the problem with Bitcoin is I don't have a crystal ball. Even my mother asks me all the time, well, since Bitcoin's up so high, should I get out now and buy it back when it dips? I'm like, it sounds good. It sounds like a logical question. It sounds like a smart thing to do if you knew that it was going to dip and if you knew that this was a top. Because what if you sell it at 121.5 right now in hopes to buy it back at 75K and it just keeps going? It goes up to 220. Are you going to be upset? Yes. And then if you try to buy it back at 220 because you realize you screwed up and then it drops after that back down to 170, you're going to be mad again that you did that. And so it's very difficult. So the best way to combat that is don't do that. Just keep buying. But you can have separate amount in a trading account where you take advantage of these ups and downs. That's why we're trading. We're trading to make money on these ups and downs and these swings and accumulate more. And your hodling account, guys, I would just keep hodling and keep buying. That's my advice there, especially on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Now there's other ones like XLM and LCX and XYO and Stellar Lumens and Cardano and Algorithm and Algorand. Stellar Lumens is XLM. There's other ones you definitely want to accumulate and hold too, but they're not going to perform. They're not the big players. XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum are the majors. Could Bonk out of the blue do a 10x? Yes. It also could never do it again. It could also just go down from here and never come back up. Shiba Inu, fun shitcoin, no purpose whatsoever other than people are believing it. Is that gonna stand the test of time? I don't know. I got millions of them, but millions of them is only worth a few $100s. So am I counting on it? Am I holding your breath? No. VeChain, is that one that could be big? Yes, VeChain could be big. It could be like the Ethereum or the XRP of China, but China just banned crypto again. I mean, it's like every time they do make rules over there, it changes things. So I don't think you're going to go wrong with Bitcoin over time. When you got billions of dollars pouring in, you got all the major institutions lining up and changing everything to get access to it, and they're going to become custodians of it. And XRP is possibly going to take over the financial markets, Ripple, and its parent company, Ripple, rather. Ethereum, most all other utilitarian tokens, utility tokens, operate on the Ethereum blockchain. I mean, it's $4,700 for one Ethereum right now. I think if Bitcoin goes to 170, if Bitcoin gets to 1 million, Ethereum is going to be 100,000. If Bitcoin gets to 170, Ethereum is going to be 20,000. XRP can break away and probably will break away from Bitcoin. It will detach. It will stop correlation. And there are some people that say that if XRP gets just 14% of the financial transaction market, in other words, once we switch to digital dollars and XRP is behind every transaction, even only 14% of all the transactions, you're looking at possibly $1,000 XRP. Do I think that's going to happen anytime soon? No. But can it? Yes. $100 XRP? $20 XRP? Yeah. I mean, guys, Bitcoin was $3.27 not even that long ago. So how many XRP does it take for you to be a millionaire? If Bitcoin gets to, if XRP gets to $1,000, you just need 1,000 XRP. That's $3,200 right now to buy 1,000 XRP. Do I recommend you doing that? If you can afford it, do it. Yes, John, we're very familiar with MicroStrategies. Michael Saylor, very bullish. He better be right. That's all I got to say. He better be right with that strategy. He's betting everything on it, not just his own farm, but everyone else's farm as well. All of his investors. He's a Bitcoin company. He's not even a software company anymore. He's just a Bitcoin farm. I hope he's right, because he's calling for $13 million Bitcoin by 2035, maybe 2040. So a $13 million Bitcoin, guys, that's why you do whatever you can do to accumulate one, just one. There's some people in this group that have a lot more than one. I got friends who have 10 or more, based on my recommendation back when it was $1,000. I got a friend of mine who bought 10 Bitcoin when it was $1,000. He's very happy he did that right now. And his wife is in our group. She doesn't get on these calls anymore because she made like 400 grand or 500 grand on Dogecoin when it was pumping, before Elon Musk got on Saturday Night Live, and she bought her husband a Ferrari with the profits she made on Dogecoin. The same guy who has the 10 Bitcoin. Some people, you don't have to trade to make a lot of money in crypto. You just have to buy enough and have enough money from your other business to buy the right amount at the right time, guys. A lot of people got super rich with some of this stuff. And if Bitcoin goes to 10 million, he'll leave a legacy, $100 million legacy to his family. He's not trying to sell it. He's not trying to do anything with it. He just sit on it. All right, guys, it's 2:00 and the basics call starting right now. So I highly recommend you guys get on that. I'm going to take one more look here at the chart before I wrap it up. And this is Ethereum pumping away at 47.29 right now, hitting some resistance and maybe a upward trending rising widening wedge, which is not necessarily good. That does usually drop after that, but we are profitable on it right now. So what I mean by that is this is usually a bearish upward, a rising wedge sometimes will eventually You can get higher and higher and higher, but it will eventually break to the downside. Usually, not always. It could break out of this to the upside and just keep pumping. But it could come down and retest. This one did. This was a rising wedge, did the same thing, broke to the upside. Rising wedge, widening wedge, could break to the upside again. If it does break to the downside, it'll probably just come down and retest this one before bouncing. But this could also just be the time. This could be the parabolic move breakout as we broke out of this zone right here, which was, you know, the major resistance for Ethereum. That's it. Maybe this is it. This is parabolic move time. Let's go to Bitcoin real quick. I'm up $1,000 or so. I'm on $1,115 on the Bitcoin signal that I gave yesterday rather. And Bitcoin is coming up right now, creating on the lower time frame, a nice little cup, almost a perfect cup. Will it double top here and create the handle and then break out? Finally, that'll be the breakout. That could be the breakout that takes us to a new all-time high, which would bring us up here in the 125 range. Then we would have some consolidation before shooting up to this 128 to 129 level.
Hey, Nico.
That's my break prediction. Yes.
So what is your trigger to either add more contracts or add more leverage?
I mean, if we break new all-time high here at 123, I might add, but what's easier sometimes to do, guys, is leave the trade alone that you're in and just open up another one on a Bitcoin margin or a USDT margin. If you already have a USDT margin trade, open another one on a Bitcoin margin or use a sub account to open another trade.
Thanks.
And just use the different, and just, you know, you don't even have to increase your leverage on the new one. Just add, you know, just do another trade with the equal amount of leverage or whatever the difference of the leverage is you want. That way you're not spreading yourself too thin or not taking too much risk on one trade. You're kind of just hedging. You guys know how to open up a sub account. You just come up here to your little picture up here, go down to sub accounts, and you click on that. And it's going to take you to your sub account section, and you can just add another account or multiple accounts. You can have 20 of them if you want. Then
So if you do that and you transfer from your main account to your sub account, that also is going to change your margin level or your liquidity. Or
it would change your
liquidation.
available. Yeah, it would change your available funds if you did that, or you can deposit more in your spot wallet account and then transfer from there. But once you have it set up where you have 2 or 3 sub accounts, you don't need to waste any time. You can just instead of adding margin or leverage to an existing trade, you can just go into a sub account and place that trade right away. So get it ready.
Could you show me that spot where you hit the sub account again, please?
Right up here where the little circle with the picture of the human in it is, where you look at your UID.
I got you. Okay.
Right down here to sub accounts.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, guys. This is what's happening right now. We've pumped up and we've come down and we're coming back around, creating what looks like a possible cup on the lower time frames at least. We do have possibly even a bigger one on the higher time frame, but if anything, we're either going to create a cup and handle right here, or we're just going to come up and hit the all-time high as resistance. I'm waiting for a breakout. I will let you know if it happens. I'm already long, but I am going to place another long position similar to what Robert was just asking about. And I'm going to do it on my Bitcoin margin account because I'm already long in my USDT margin account. But I will just give another trade signal when I do that. It'll look like a new trade signal, even though I will still be in my old trade signal.
Sounds awesome.
All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Get on the basics call. If some of you think you know everything, get on the basics call. I guarantee you learn something from Bill.
Hey, Nico, great call, man. A lot of information. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody. I'm glad you were tuned in. On next week's call, I'm only going to be on until about 1:30 because I have a podcast that I was invited to speak on at 1:30. So I'm going to have to get off the call to get onto that. But it's still going to be probably an hour and a half. But you know, a lot of times I stay on until 2 hours. But I got to run now. But you guys have a great rest of your day. Get on the basics call, and I will see you in the chat. Oh, and by the way, guys, one more thing. Webinar tonight, if you want to get on that, I will be trading live on that as well. So there's just more screen time. If you want to learn more, I do answer questions on that as well. And that's it for today. All right. Have a great rest of your day.